What is up, everybody? Phantom Darkness 135 here. Got a lot of positive feedback on reverting to our old style of doing walkthroughs yesterday. We did 2 walkthroughs in the classic way, and what I mean by that is I played the game first and then did a walkthrough as opposed to doing it blindly. A lot of positive feedback, some negative feedback, but I think we can find a good balance in the future to make sure that everybody gets happy. Please continue to let me know which way you like best, and any other feedback you have for me, of course. Today, we're continuing to do the old style walkthrough. It's really not the old style, it's just a walkthrough style. I guess the other style I'd call a playthrough or a blind walkthrough, I don't know. And this game is the scene of the crime. It is another pastel game in which we play a detective. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but this detective seems very sure of himself, like he's overconfident, because there's a lot of stuff I feel like he overlooks in this game before he closes the case. Also, he runs screaming in, gun drawn to the room, one-handed. Not good form for firing on your suspect. Also, yesterday, some of you may have noticed that those 2 walkthroughs I did yesterday were pretty fast. I know a couple of you guys noticed and commented on it. The reason being, I was called into my weekend job right in the middle of the first take I did on the great living room escape. But today, they cannot call me in, so we're going to do this nice and chill. And we start by looking at this corpse over here. Like I said, our detective is very sure of himself. He doesn't need to look at anything, he just knows that he's dead by a stab wound. I don't see a stab wound, but our detective says so we'll go with it. His watch stopped at 8:03 p.m. From what I saw in the game, doesn't really have significance, but pretty neat, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Believe it or not too much evidence by the bathtub. However, behind us, by the toilet, there's a newspaper clipping, that a woman won $100,000. And she looks very sad despite that fact, but we'll let that go for now and just tuck that into our memory and try to get out of the screen. Thank you. On the top of the toilet, we find our murder weapon hastily stowed away. By the mirror, we find a lipstick, and down here by some bleach, we find a ransom note. Now the ransom note says, if you want to see your husband alive, you will come to the Canbana, not Cabana, but Canbana in room 44 tomorrow at 7 p.m. You will come alone and bring $100,000. If you call the police, he will die. If you aren't alone, he will die. Sounds fantastic. So we have the murder weapon and a lipstick here. This should come in handy, right? So we have a little fingerprint kit here. I'm going to dust our brush here and use it on both. And then take the fingerprint tape and also use it on both. Match them up, and again, the great detective can just tell by eyesight that those are perfectly matched. Okay, that's all we need from in here, I believe. If not, we'll come right back. Out here, there's a glaring TV. If you look in the drawers, you'll find a torn notebook in the bottom drawer. Nothing in that drawer. A cell phone battery in the middle drawer. Nothing in that drawer. And some car keys on top. Beside the TV, there's a 9mm shell. But the guy was stabbed, apparently, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I guess we'll find out in a later game. Nothing in this side of the closet. I should mention, too, this is a trilogy, so if you guys like this, let me know if you guys like this, and we'll do the next 2 games as well. On this side of the closet, though, there's lots of goodies. There's a suitcase, unlocked. Oh yeah, there's actually nothing in the suitcase, but it's suspicious that the guy was fully packed for this kidnapping. However, in the jacket, we find another piece of the puzzle, a wallet with a receipt. Turns out the dude had a lover whom he ate dinner with. If you try to dust the 9mm, there's not a fingerprint on it. And there's nothing else we need. Oh, there is something else we can do here, though. We can use our trusty pencil on our notebook here. And this is a randomly generated number each time. It says 0755. That's the PIN number for what? You'll see in a bit. So that's all we get from the closet. Nothing else we need from over here. That's the bathroom door. And here is a very disheveled bed. Looks like someone went through the drawers already. We're going to go through over here. We pick up a blonde hair from fictive abduction. From the bed. Nothing in these two drawers, I don't believe. However, under the bed, we find a cell phone that goes along with that battery we found. So let's go ahead and boot that up. We won't use it just yet though. And we can see we're pretty much progressed. We only have a couple things left to do. One of them being the classic safe behind the portrait with the $100,000. What doesn't make sense is, one, why is there a bullet in here when the guy was stabbed? And two, why did the killer, I guess the female, leave the cash behind? It doesn't make much sense, but our detective doesn't seem to mind. All we have left to do is use that pin 0755. And we see that there's a text message on there. So somehow that stuff adds up and the case is solved, even though I'm left with many questions. You can actually leave the game before you complete the case. I'm not sure what it does. And yeah, there's a blood spot there that for some reason we solved the case without it. So I guess we're good to go. And our detective has his theory here. She won $100,000. All these people are very unhappy with their lives. I don't understand, if he's married to the girl, why he needs to steal her money. And why they spelled hotel without an E. So I guess somehow the lever convinced the guy that he needed to steal the money that he and his wife shared, and then stabbed him while he was in the bathtub. Yikes. Case closed, even though we did not apprehend the suspect at all, nor do we probably have enough evidence to charge her. But that's okay, because that's just the first game of 3. If you guys would like, please let me know. If you'd like to do the next 2 games, I would be more than happy to do so. And hopefully we'll have some new games coming by. Keep the suggestions coming. For now, I am Phantom Darkness 135. I thank you for joining me this time around, and I will see you next time. I am out of here.